Hello, beautiful humans. I'm Jem Madrone, and today I want to talk about the point in the process when we just feel lost. We feel like we're just floating around in space, untethered to the planet, um, not really sure how to move forward, and very certain that we can't move backwards, and we just feel really lost. And this often comes into the process of transformation and awakening. After the initial excitement, after we've done quite a bit of work, and we may have even felt like we've completed a chunk of it, and then we feel like we're stagnating. We feel like we don't really know how to move forward, where we're supposed to go. We have nothing to hold on to. And this really can appear almost in any place in the process because it's so different for each one of us. When we talk about these different aspects and phases of the process, we talk about them because they appear for most people, but often not in the same order for everybody. It's often very mixed up. It's a very organic personal process. And so, this feeling of just being lost or stagnant or just like there's nothing to hold on to, nothing that we can secure ourselves to, nothing that we can really be sure is true. And it can make us feel a bit crazy. And also, it can be quite depressing because we feel like we've made all this progress and now we're just stagnating, that there's nothing, there's no motivation, there's no inspiration, there's just empty space. And, our mind, and especially the ego part of us that was attached to making progress, that was attached to this spiritual path, that was attached to moving forward, doesn't like this, doesn't like to stagnate, doesn't like to be still, and really just wants to know what's the next step, what's going on. And so we often find ourselves getting agitated at this point in the process, becoming afraid that maybe we won't make any more progress, or that maybe, the progress we have made was an illusion, that this whole thing is an illusion. And good, because it is. This whole 3D life is an illusion. And this space of the unknown, this space of not knowing, this space of just free floating is a bit closer to our true nature without the ego. And so, if we can allow ourselves to be in this place of the void with these uncomfortable feelings and release our resistance to it, release our expectations, and just open to the bigger possibilities of what the universe holds for us, then that simple act of releasing resistance opens up the next step for us. It opens up our energy field, our mind, our hearts, so that we can expand into the next version of us and whatever that holds for us. And so often, when we do drop the resistance and we surrender to this place of the unknown, we surrender to the void, then that is often when the next step appears if we're willing to accept it. If our expectations don't delete it when it does appear, because that often happens. The mind, the ego jumps back in and says, "Oh, no, 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 that can't be the next step. That's not what we were expecting." And so then there you are, waiting in the void again when your answer had been given to you. So be willing to receive those answers when they come. And they're often very subtle. So we need to be listening, we need to be aware, we need to follow energy, follow the universe, and really just become okay with being in the void, because this place of the void is where all possibilities exist. All possibilities exist. So if we allow ourselves to be there without expectations, without a bunch of mental stories about it, um, then we can find ourselves connecting with the reality that we would like to manifest into our lives. So if we are in this place, we can tap into the creative energy of the universe. And by opening up, expanding into it, we can call into our lives what we would like to see, what we would like to experience, and just what that next step is for you in your journey and on this path. And so right now, collectively, we are definitely in this place of the unknown, in this place of the void. Everything is up for grabs. Nothing is like it was or like we thought or expected it to be. And we don't really know what's going to happen with any of this. It's all just in the chaos phase of creation right now. And so, collectively, this energy of having to be in the unknown amplifies our own inner energy and often amplifies our own discontent with being in this place of the unknown. But what it means for us is that this collective energy is just um, giving us a boost. It's boosting what we're feeling internally so that we have more movement in our body to open to that next part of our story, that next part of what our soul is really yearning to move towards, and that part of us that's really asking to be healed. And, another way that I see this collective space of the unknown, this collective space of the void that also applies for us personally, is that we are between, it's kind of like a place in between two dimensions. We're in between the third dimension and the fifth dimension, if we want to attach language to it. That, this movement is occurring right now, personally, collectively, and we're still in those in between zones, and there's a lot of moving back and forth for many of us between the fifth dimension and the third dimension, and that space in between dimensions is that place of the unknown, and it very much feels like collectively that's what we are experiencing, that interdimensional space of one foot here, one foot there. But as we personally do the work of continuing to move into that place of the fifth dimension, that higher vibrational space, then that is what's shifting the collective energy right now. And so, because of all of the work that each one of us has been doing, I believe that that is why we're in that space of the unknown, because the energy is moving from one dimension to the next dimension. And so that's super exciting. And we also know when this kind of change occurs, it is completely destructive, honestly, and very, very, very challenging. So if you think about when it occurred in your life, if it's occurring right now, this kind of upheaval, change, shift in vibration and shift in dimension is very, very destructive. And so that's what we're seeing right now on the planet. But that is because we're moving towards a new way of being and a new reality. And so I just want to empower all of you to be in that place of the void, because that is where the magic happens. Be patient, release your expectations, release your resistance, and just enjoy it. Because when we can be in that place, we can feel our bodies, our souls, our minds expanding bigger and bigger and bigger to fill that place. And when we expand like that, the old programmings, the old belief systems, all of that starts to drop away. So, if you're in this place and it just feels like you're stuck in the mud and you're resonating with what I'm saying, but you just still can't quite fathom how to move forward or see clearly right now, if you want some help with this process, please send me a private message and we can talk and I can tell you about the work I do with my clients and we can see if it would be a good fit for you. So, sending you all so much love. If you have any questions, please leave them here in the comments, and I will see you on the Facebook group. Have a great day.